Um, well, Adam, we're here. It's 24 hours. I think it's what, 24 hours or maybe even less than that before, probably 24 hours, 30 hours, and you're gonna have a president. You're gonna have a new president of the United States of America. How do you feel about that?
Well, first of all,
Oh, oh, here.
I
Uh
took
oh.
a.
Uh oh.
Uh
Right.
oh.
Oh yeah, that's fine. This is the way it all starts. Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Get your sip of
I
coffee.
I don't have a whole lot of time here,
I know.
so I took a couple of notes.
Yes.
All right.
I took some notes today. Actually, what I was doing is I'm doing a little bit of research on the electoral college, and I think we're probably gonna talk about the electoral college next time because I think it's very interesting and it's something that a lot of citizens don't understand. And we'll do something about it, and we'll discuss it later. But I think today you were gonna take some notes on what was that on calculus or what was that?
Oh man.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
Right. Yeah. Right. Okay. So this is the elections year.
I have to let the audience know that earlier
Yeah.
Fonzie and I were talking and texting, and he said he had to get the makeup department
No.
to fix him up.
That's
But
okay.
what I was going to get at is
Cut. Okay.
Fonzie's a very handsome man. He does not need any makeup
Right.
or anything like that. What you guys are seeing
The
is
microphone
him.
here. Well, you caught me off guard, ladies and gentlemen. We have been going on for a while, and we're going to talk about a few things. And we thought the night was gone, and with all the stuff happening with the campaign and the elections, and actually, I was thinking, well, and I was cutting some clips, and I thought, well, maybe not, tonight is not the night, but I think that Adam and I have probably the same level of energy, and we kind of like, hey, even if it's 11 midnight or whatever, we kind of keep on going. So anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What's going on, Adam?
Oh, you didn't interrupt at all.
All right.
Let's see here. Lost my notes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. This segment is called Quick Comments from Adam.
Okay.
Oh, can't see. My wife just put
Do you
a.
need
Oh,
you need my lighting engineer like I have in a studio? Because my studio is about 5 by 3.
No,
Okay.
but I watched a couple of things on the news today about the investigation with Anthony Weiner's emails.
Oh, the gift that keeps on giving, right?
Yeah, keeps on giving.
I know.
650,000 emails
Right. Right.
that the FBI went through in 8 days.
In
8 days.
in 8 days. That's right. Probably. Well, yeah, 8 days. Let's just say 8 days.
It was 8 days. That's been proven.
Right.
But didn't it take 18 months to go through just 33,000 of Hillary's?
That's a good
That
point.
part I can't figure
Now,
out.
now you know that I try to be as objective as possible, right? Because is this I'm not gonna take any sides, so I like to play the devil's advocate sometimes. And what I can
Okay.
say is what these people claim is they use a special software to go over all the emails. And I'm not saying that that's the most accurate way or it is probably the best, but they use this software to find relationships between names or keywords or whatever between those emails and whatever is happening with the previous report or previous findings they had. So is there a problem with that?
Well, hold on. Why wouldn't they use the same software?
I
Did
don't
they
know.
all of a sudden get new software?
And that's another very good point. And now the devil's advocate has no comeback for that. And the first time, I think it was a lot of it was manual inspection as well. There was like all this analysis by another human. I think this time it was one of those quick, hey, let's see if you can find anything related to her name that attaches to those emails. Is that, do you buy that?
No, no, I don't. No, not at all. And neither
Right.
do you.
I
I
don't
know
know. I
you
don't.
don't.
No, I mean, I just don't know. I mean, because when I'm looking for some, I've done searches on the on like on files that I have, and if let's say I'm looking for something related to something that I already know exists, like such word. So if I just do a search on that word, if nothing comes up, then well, I guess there's nothing there on that word. But to your defense, I would say, okay, there's nothing on that word, but we don't know. Now this is the other side of me. We don't know if these people, the Wiener guy, God, I hate calling him like that, Anthony Weiner, we don't know if he referred to Hillary in other ways, and that the software is not going to find. How would it? Anyway, I don't know if it
I'll
makes
buy
sense.
that.
I don't know if it makes any sense, but you know what I mean, right? Like we know you by Adam, right? But then there are other many names and also known as that maybe your friends know you by. Like for example, you know what my name is, but for whatever reason you call me Fonzie, like all the time. So imagine people looking for my name Alonso. Well, they're not going to find references to Fonzie, and that's the other side of my argument. And I
There
don't know,
would, if there's a track record, they would.
right? But even
However, they
no,
probably cleaned it up.
right? Well, and even if they're referencing by another name, or even if they're using software, it is still a little too quick. 8 days to go over more than 500,000 emails. I think.
A lot too quick
I
when
think.
it took a year, almost a year and a half to go over 33,000.
Right. I think with software, I would have spent a little, a little extra, and then the news. This letter is released a couple of days before the final election. So I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you on this one, Adam. I think you're convinced that it is baloney. Is this what I'm getting from you?
Yeah, and I think you kind of agree with me.
I'm leaning that way, but not completely. I'm like, maybe, because I've done searches and it's like, I don't know. 8 days, I mean, even in 24 hours, you can search the entire file with software. But again, to me, it boils down to, well, okay, what are you looking for? Are you looking for the name Hillary in the search? Well, if
It
you don't,
doesn't matter what you're looking for. You cannot read and investigate 650,000 emails
and that is the other
in 8
key word.
days.
Okay, and that is the key word. And I think you said it. Investigate. Now, to investigate 650,000, you said emails. To investigate. Now that's a tall order. That's a big job right there. So that's the only reason why I'm saying I'm leaning the Adam argument right now.
And on a side note from that,
Yes.
we have military personnel that have been imprisoned for less offenses.
Now,
And that is true story.
that is a true story. Now, however, and this is where the double standard happens. I think we have heard before that for some diplomats, they have different rules. Like even for presidents, they have different rules on what treason is. And for a citizen like you and I, which I don't agree. I think that everybody,
Especially if your last name is Clinton.
okay. Well, I thought something else was coming up, but all right. And I don't agree with it. I think that everybody should be held accountable and held and be judged using the same standards. Why would we've heard diplomatic immunity before. I've heard those words before. People have diplomatic immunity. Well, how come we don't have Adam immunity, right? How come we don't have?
But isn't diplomatic immunity if you're from a foreign country visiting this country?
Yeah, but some of our diplomats, some of the rules that apply to the president are different than they are for us. Just because you and I are not presidents. Now, like I said, I don't agree with it. I think that everybody should be treated equally, even if they are presidents. Because to me, it goes back to like the times when we had kings and queens, and it's like, wait a minute. So what if he's the president? So what? He's a human being like I am, and he should be held accountable, and he should be judged just the way I am as a citizen. So I don't agree with people having being judged or being with a different yardstick. You know, it's like, so what if she's a Secretary of State? So what if he's the president? I'm a human being too, and I'm a citizen. So that's my only thing. You don't seem to agree with this one.
Nope, I don't.
Sorry, I lost you on this one.
You didn't lose me. I just completely disagree.
Oh, all right. Now, last time we talked about voting, and I think you said something about go vote, and I've heard, I've talked to other people about that. They say, well, if you don't vote, then it's like you're doing this and you're doing that. Now, however, I have a question for you, though, and let's see how you answer this one. What if you don't agree with either one of them and you don't go vote? Is that such a bad thing? Or why do you equally say, you know what, these two guys suck? I don't want to vote for either. Either one of you. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like by principle, you say, just the principle.
But there's still two other candidates out there.
Yeah, but one of them doesn't know what Aleppo is.
No, yeah, he thought it was an acronym, right?
I don't remember what he said, but oh my god,
he did. He thought it was an acronym for something.
And then they asked the guy, well, name what is it, a foreign figure that you admire or something like that? And
yeah, I know.
And he said, I can't think of one. I have one of those Aleppo moments.
So, well, for those folks that disagree with both sides so heartedly, then yeah, don't vote. Just
right. Because
what else are you gonna do? They're gonna flip a coin.
Well, and what I was thinking is that some people, they can just actually write a name in there. You can write.
They can write Fonzie right there in the ballot.
Which, by the way, folks, is not my name, but. If you do a search on 650,000 emails, you're not going to find that name there. So I got you.
Right.
So anyway, yes, that was just the other question. And we have less than 24 hours, I think, and we'll be pretty close to having a president-elect. What are your predictions?
Man, I'll tell you. I'll give you my hope first, which you already know.
Yes. Yeah, I know what your hope is, but
my prediction is there's going to be too many people that just don't go vote. And then all the lazies, the people that want from the government and think that the government owed them, the same people that we pay for it. That's my... I don't know, man.
You're about to go into another topic, I think.
Yeah, I know.
You're touching on something else that
holding back.
Yeah. Well, you can take another sip, and maybe that will help you release some of that.
All right. Let me heat my coffee up.
Yeah, this is what I think is going to be pretty close, and I think that the delegates would probably be working with Hillary. You know how it is, the electoral system. You vote, but then there's like the delegates go and actually choose. And I think that she's probably been working the network all this time on how she wants these delegates to vote at that time, after the vote is cast by the American public. And I think she's working her usual networks. And I think that she's going to win. I don't agree with all of it. I mean, I think you and I went through all the, I think you mentioned something like, well, you can't count her mistakes with the fingers of your hands. And it's like, oh, well, yeah, there's some things, that I definitely don't like. She's part of the establishment and all that stuff, and we're tired of it.
Well, let me interrupt you real quick.
Yeah.
Didn't Barack Obama, when he was running for president, didn't he say that she was the most unqualified person?
Oh yeah, but see, that is when they were fighting. That's when they're not friends.
No, right?
Yes, but now, you know.
Now all of a sudden she's qualified.
No, but this happens in politics, right? I mean, that's just crazy.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Right, right. And
but even Trump said that she was qualified
a while back and gave her money. And all. Now, yeah. now I'm going to be on Trump's side. Now, to his defense, I'm going to say something though. He did say, "I used to be part of that, and I know how that works, and that's why I'm doing this."
That's right. He retracted.
Right. So he kind of regrets doing all that. So I bet you're real happy I said this, huh?
I am. I'm very proud of you
and
for
see,
that.
Well, I'm not a Trump supporter, but
like I know you're not.
Like I said, I have to be objective, and the guy said that. I know because I watch it on TV, and he said, "I used to be one of those. I gave you all of you money." He said, "Every candidate, I gave you money, and I know how the system works, and this is why I'm doing this." I said, "Okay, great." And I hope what I'm saying now isn't actually helping people go vote for him, because I'm just stating the facts. That's what he said.
You just gave.
No.
You just gave up who you were voting for.
No, I know.
In a roundabout way. Yeah, you most certainly did. Rewind the tape, buddy.
I was gonna vote for the Libertarians, but but you know, I can't vote for a guy who doesn't. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if he thinks.
But you can vote for. But you can vote for someone that should be in prison, that got 4 people killed in Benghazi, that's lied constantly for the past 30 years to the United States Americans. You can vote for that.
Well, I have reasons why not to vote for the other one as well, and I mean, I can go on, but again, I don't want to be seen as one-sided, and I just don't know which one to vote for. I think that I wouldn't vote for her, but at the same time, I just don't think that he is prepared to be the commander of the world, you know, because essentially that's what he is. Whoever becomes the president of the United States, this is such a powerful nation, influential in the world. That man, that woman, man, I don't want to sound sexist, that man or that woman or whoever, whatever gender it is, that person is going to be one of the most powerful persons in the world, in the universe, now that we can actually travel to the moon and Mars. And
right.
I don't think that he's the one. And you know, that's my opinion. And I don't want to say all this too much, because I don't want people to, I want people to watch the show for all the content and the facts that we throw out there, and the opinion.
I get that. But at the same time, and I'm going to change the subject just a little bit here.
Go ahead. It's time to move on. Let's go to commercial. We'll be right back. Thank you. What's the subject now?
Okay. the Jay-Z and Beyonce concert that Hillary had.
Right.
Talking about beating up women.
I know how
and all the dirty words and all that.
I never.
However,
yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I never liked those lyrics. I was going to say, yes.
Okay, but by golly, if that was Donald Trump, boy, that'd be all over the news, would it not?
I don't know if it makes the news anymore, but he'll be criticized.
Okay, there, yes. He'd be criticized.
Right,
there's no doubt about that.
Right. And I don't, you know, I never liked that type of language in music and stuff. I'm a musician, and I think music is supposed to be, it should be something else, but that's another topic.
You're a Beatles fan. I do know that.
I'm a Beatles fan, but I'm also a musician, and I like to inspire people to do cool things with my music. You know, it's like I like people to be inspired to do these wonderful things. Hold on, we're getting some comments here. We're getting
I can't see any on my side.
Yeah, I'm getting it says we have no say in the end. The Electoral College decides. This is a comment by, yeah, I know this guy. Yeah, thanks for watching. They said a bunch of the emails were in code. Now, there you go. This goes now. Okay, well, let's finish the Beyonce. Let's finish the Beyonce, and then we touch on this, because this is very important. Yeah, those lyrics and those things, I don't agree with those. I think that musicians have a responsibility. I know a lot of them say, well, this is just my business. But, you know, I say, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a
You're
minute.
in a presidential debate. You need to clean it up. That's all I got to say.
Not only that, but say, wait a minute. Children admire you. Teenagers admire you. And once that happens, even adults, then really you must think, you know, what is it that I'm doing that is going to create a better world?
I'm getting in the freezer.
Adam is getting in the freezer because this is getting too hot. So, and I think musicians have a responsibility, and I think that Beyonce and Mr. Jay-Z, businessmen, they should have cleaned it up and be a little more respectful at least during the presidential show. You know,
You would think,
the campaign show.
Those two people are. You would think they're pretty smart business people.
I think they are very smart. I mean, they made a lot of money with the American public, and I always say, you know, all of them have once you exchange these things with another human being, money, goods, you have a responsibility to those individuals. That's my opinion. And I think if these guys continue to make music like that, I think it's their responsibility to create something beautiful instead of. Anyway, that's another topic. But
right?
You're right. If Donald Trump has said those things, the conversation will be different. However, again, playing the devil's advocates, he shouldn't say anything. You know, he shouldn't talk after all the language that he has kind of delivered out there, and the words that he has said in public and all that. They're pretty harsh. So I suppose Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Donald Trump, I can probably put him in the same camp.
No, that's not true at all.
He has said dirty words. He said curse words in speeches. He has said some of the words that I can't even say here. He has said the P word about women.
That wasn't in a speech.
No,
that was in a recorded.
And he has said, and he has said things, and he has said something like, you know, she was bleeding out the eyes, and then she was bleeding out of her blah blah blah. And it's like all these things.
Oh, that's taken out of context. Come on, man.
Well, even if you take it out of context, what would you?
All right, I'll give you that one. Anyway, that was pretty dirty.
And then there was there was a in one of Hillary Clinton's ad during one of his speeches, he's actually saying a curse word. You know, this is what I'm going to tell you. Go and you know, all that stuff. So it's like,
okay, no, that's not true. When they bleeped it, that's not true at all. And you know, look, watch Fox News. Right. That is not true. He did not cuss.
Right.
He did not cuss.
If you had, there is a, I think it's a book.
There's a dump button.
No, there's a report that, what's the name of that guy on CNN in the mornings? Is it,
I don't know. I'm usually at work during that time. Yeah. Unlike Hillary's supporters.
I think it's called GPS show. His GPS show in the morning on Saturdays or something. He did a report and he gets the quotes out of either newspapers or books. And he does say a few things that I wouldn't agree with Donald Trump on those things. You know, talks about bankers.
But if saying foul language discredits you from being the president,
I don't think it does.
We got some issues.
No, I don't think it does, because that doesn't disqualify him. I mean, Bush said a few of those things, and to me, he was a president that he was qualified to be a president. And a lot of people probably get mad at me for that, but hey, the guy
he was Texan.
Yeah, he was Texan, and I'm sure the other presidents say all this, they say curse words sometimes. Hey, but they're still qualified. But anyway, what I was going to say is that, well, he brought it up, and it's like, you know, well, he said a few things too, so it's like, okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
we can agree to disagree on that one.
We can agree to disagree on that one. Yes.
The fella that sent you the message just a moment ago,
yes.
Just his first name, or you can make up a name if you like.
His name is Frankie. And Frankie has he's a businessman too. He's a small businessman, and he's trying out there. He's trying hard, and he said.
Then he's probably voting for Trump.
He said they said a bunch of. emails were in code. So, and that's what we were talking about. If they search the word Hillary or Clinton and you don't know how she was referred to by the Wiener guy, then they're not going to find all the other stuff. And that is my defense to what you were saying. Because
Okay.
that'll
I understand that.
That'll make it very difficult then to find things that, well, what if they refer to her with some of the names or referencing another thing, right?
Okay.
So, yeah.
But why wouldn't they study? Why wouldn't they study those 650,000 emails as long as they studied the 33,000?
Right.
That's my comment there on that one. You had 16 months for 33,000 emails, 8 days for 650,000. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense.
Right. It doesn't make any sense until they explain it, and their explanation may not.
They're
be
not going to
sense.
explain it.
May not be making sense either.
And that guy that's in charge of the FBI, what's that cat's name?
Comey.
Comey.
Director Comey.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who gets elected. He's looking for a new job.
I think he's out. I think he's out.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about Giuliani's statement that he heard something from active FBI members or retired or previous or whatever they call it, former FBI agents, that something about the email leaked, and then he was confronted by I think it was Wolf Blitzer on CNN, and he said, "No, I never said those things, and if I did, it was a mistake." Do you think that he was just manipulating that, or did he really make a mistake? Because he appeared on the Larson show, and he says, yes, I've been in communication, whatever, something like that, with former and active FBI people. And now he's kind of retracting because he may get in trouble for saying these things about FBI people leaking stuff.
Oh, I got to tell you, man, I don't know anything about that one, so I don't want to comment. But if he's retracting, then obviously he made something up.
Oh, okay. Because he did say during the Wolf Blitzer interview, he said, "Well, if I did, I think Wolf said, did you say you misspoke or something like that?" And he said, "Well, if I did, it was a mistake, whatever." So, but he was kind of. I remember before the weekend, he was kind of bragging that they were going to come up with something new on the weekend, like, we got something coming up. He said, "We got something coming up," and I think. What's the name of this lady on Fox? McCollum? Is it Martha McCollum? She interviewed him and said, what is this good thing that's coming up on the weekend? And he just laughed and smiled. He said, "Well, you will know. You will know." So for the duration of that time, like the weekend before the Saturday, he kept saying, we're going to come up with this thing. And then he kind of retracted and said, "I have not spoken to an FBI person in 8 to 10 months, he said. Boom.
Oh, wow.
I think, we don't know what happened.
Well, let me ask you this. What did Janet Reno have on Hillary Clinton?
Probably a crush.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, Janet Reno died, right?
Yeah.
Just recently.
Right.
Today.
Well, and there's some what do they call them? Some documentaries where they talk about how people just kind of disappear mysteriously. People who have, worked with the Clintons or whatever. So I have not watched any of the. I think we spoke about this one last time. I have not watched.
We didn't talk about Janet Reno because she was still alive.
No, we talked about how people.
We talked about other people.
Yeah,
that have been murdered.
I think during the pre-show. We're doing that.
Yeah, we did. We most certainly did.
I think before your first cup of coffee, and
we could have a full show on just who the Clintons have been accused of murdering.
I know that they've been accused of a lot of those things, especially by some people who have made the documentaries and the films. I have not watched a single one of them, but I know that other people have watched them, and they told me, and I said, "Oh wow, really? Is that really what's going on?" maybe if I watched, I'll be shocked. Have you watched any of those?
I haven't. I just read a little bit in the papers, and then of course
Yeah.
on FoxNews.com and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So
And what
yeah,
about this letter of the FBI? Do you think it helped Hillary this last few days, or does it make any difference anymore?
I think Comey just wants to be alive. That's all.
So he said,
Saving his
I
own
better
life.
correct this before he comes in. You think
He's gonna right the ship.
you think he waited until he figured, okay, I think she's gonna make it, so I better release this letter.
It doesn't matter if she makes it or not. He's gonna get dead.
Oh wow, my goodness. I think I don't think it's gonna make a lot of difference. In fact, when the letter was released and she had those rallies, she didn't really say much about the letter. You know, I thought she was gonna make a big
But
deal about
yeah,
it. But,
she's got to avoid all that. There's no. Why would she? Why would she talking about it?
well, I mean, I thought she was gonna kind of use that second letter to tell the public, hey, by the way, they didn't find anything with my 650. Do you think it's because maybe if I mention
She
it,
doesn't want to bring it up. No.
yeah,
Yeah, why would you bring it up? All of that, nobody likes it. Why would you bring it back up?
yeah. And Donald
Right?
Trump didn't really bring it up that much either, did he?
And that's weird. I don't know. I
Well,
don't know what
and
happened there.
because for a long time he was kind of using this as a tool. He was using this as one of the main issues and said, look, there's an investigation. They reopened it and they reopened it. And then when the letter comes out again, the second time, it just kind of puff.
Well, he's surrounded himself by some pretty smart people.
I think so.
And I'm pretty sure somebody in there probably told him, hey,
Drop it.
just knock it off.
And speaking of that, I don't know if you noticed what happened in one of his rallies over the weekend. He had to be escorted by.
Oh, the gun thing?
Well, was it a gun?
Yeah, it was a hoax. Somebody yelled out,
Gun.
gun, gun, gun. Anyhow, it ended up not being true.
And I was telling people here, friends and all, I said, this is one of the first times that Donald Trump, I don't know, I remember any other time, but when we had protesters in the rallies and all that, and stadiums and all these things for Donald Trump, he's had so many hecklers and protesters and screaming people, right? People escorted out of the stadium and all that. But this time required agents to rush Donald Trump off the stage. And
Yeah, because
that's what I thought it was
some
strange. So
knucklehead,
somebody must have
because some
screamed.
knucklehead Hillary supporter started yelling out "gun, gun, gun," and
Let's
they had
see.
to get that person out.
I think we have I think we have some of that clip. Let's see.
Great.
There it is.
I'm looking at the TV.
Taken out.
Well, my TV's on
Delay.
about a 30
Yeah.
second delay. Yeah.
Well, that's what happened. And then they grabbed the guy and they take
There
him.
you go.
So that's when they took him away. And then, you know, the agents took the guy, even some militarized agents, and also agents took, you know, they rushed Donald Trump off the stage. I just thought it was kind of strange, but I didn't know somebody had been screaming gun. It's not the first time he's got people interrupting his rallies and his speeches.
Yeah.
So anyway,
And that you know what, that reminds me of this oil pipeline that's going in.
in
You know
Dakota.
what? Well, that's a different discussion. I got a lot of comments.
Oh
on
yeah,
that.
well, I've been posting about that, and it's I don't know if you want to leave the viewers with some cliffhanging deal. And what have you heard about that? I've watched videos and I've shared some stuff, some videos that people.
It's not what I've heard. It's what I've seen.
Oh,
The same people that want to protect their land are burning vehicles, property, literally setting it on fire
right.
to protect their land that's not even anywhere close to where the burial grounds are. How does that work?
I don't know.
Look at the map. Look at the map.
Yeah. Huh.
Where the pipeline is going is nowhere even close to where these Indian burial grounds are. It's stupid. These guys are just absolutely stupid.
So you think they don't know where the burial is? You think they're... I don't know. I have seen the reports. I've seen some videos. Some people have sent some links to me, but I have not seen the map. I'll be honest with you. I don't know the location.
I'll send you the map.
Yeah,
I have the map. I'll send it to you. That way you can post it on this.
Well, we can probably bring that up next time, probably after the after your president is elected.
Yeah, let's wait till after the election, and then we'll go from there.
Yes. So, anything else you had in your notes before you have more coffee coming up, and then that's it?
No, I actually took my notes. We're done there, and I had a bunch more after the notes. Leah, you got anything you want to
say? you have your agents over there.
Yeah.
That's great.
She's watching us. She's watching us on TV
on the tube. Yeah.
There.
Well, yeah. I mean, you covered.
My wife is on the couch.
Yeah, she's enjoying the show. Well, you covered what you wanted to cover, I think, and I think I covered what I wanted to say about the incident with Trump and also the Giuliani deal. And I wanted to say something about, because I know last time during the pre-show we talked about voting, and I wanted to talk about voting. You know, like, does it matter if somebody doesn't vote because he's equally disgusted with both candidates? And I think we kind of agree that if you don't like either one of them, well, what are you going to do? It's a matter of principle, I guess. I suppose not voting in America is also exercising your right to freedom and say, hey, I'm free to choose either to vote or not to vote.
And that's right. I agree with that. But if you have the right to vote, man, at least remember there's two other candidates.
Yes.
One of them is at 1%. The other one is, I think, at 3%, something like that. Vote for one of them guys. Just vote.
They also it goes 5 to 3 and 5 to 3, and I think is dropping. And there was some comment he made that sounded like he was trying to support the Democrats, and I think that might have caused some people to kind of leave his camp. And it's like, oh well, but they have to have at least 5% to stay in the race. You stay in the elections and to remain as a viable party. Otherwise, you know, if you just have 1%, I don't know what you can do with that.
And do you know either of their names?
Aleppo?
Don't Google it.
Aleppo? No, it's Gary Johnson is one of them, and I didn't search it because I'm here watching you, so I know that because at some point, believe it or not, I think I still am. I've been kind of leaning libertarian, but I don't know. No, not yet. I think that they've been luring me. I think they've been calling me, but there are some things that I do like about libertarians. There's some appeal there, and I think is the very, very little government they want to say. We don't want government intruding your life at all. Now, that sounds very appealing, but at the same time, I think small government to me is better than the libertarian view of just no government. I don't think they want like zero government. I think they just wanted less than what the conservative want. And that to me is kind of dangerous, I think I would like to have at least some sort of rule, some government, some authority. And I think libertarians kind of go too far sometimes. And it seems to me they want to go Old West. Whereas like, hey, we don't need anybody. Why are you going to tell me what to wear and what helmets to use and all those things, and whether I can have guns or not, and whether I want to have this in my house or not in my house? And it's like, okay, well, I think we need some regulations.
So you would prefer the exact opposite in Hillary Clinton? where the government controls everything.
I wouldn't like that at all. I'd like to have some manageable ground, and I think that.
So what you're telling me is Trump has your support?
No, I agree with Trump on government size. Very different.
Tomorrow, Trump has your support.
I agree with him on government. What would I call this? Government smallness, size.
Right.
But I don't want government to rule our lives that much. It's not who I am. Like, for example, they tell you, okay, this is what you're supposed to buy for your vehicle and regulations on environmental stuff, and it's like, well, really, it's just, I think too many regulations sometimes kill you. It's too much.
Yeah.
Can you have your own
no doubt about that.
Can you have your own propeller at home, your own energy efficient stuff? It's like there's going to be a point when government is going to show up and tell you, hey, you cannot have any energy stuff that you can create at home. You have to buy it. You know what I mean? It's just too much. So anyway, any words you want to say before this thing gets saved and launched to the world? Because tomorrow is the election day. It's the duty of every American to exercise freedom to vote. And we already know who you're voting for, who you support. And I think it's less than 24 hours before we have a president-elect.
And hopefully tomorrow, Fonzie and I will be back on after Hillary concedes.
Oh my! That's going to be around 11 or 12 midnight.
We got to do what we got to do, man. We got a show to run.
Duty, okay. Duty first.
Duty calls.
Duty call first, then anything else. I will send my jacket to the cleaners tomorrow in the morning. It's got to look better than what it looks right now, and hopefully I'll get my makeup and the engineer guy tomorrow to fix my problems here. Anyway.
Hey, just so you know, my wife, when I told you at the beginning of the show that you didn't need makeup and all that, that I thought you were a handsome man.
Yeah. Sure.
My wife passed me a nasty letter, a nasty note.
Yes.
And then we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. And she probably said, yes, tell him he needs a mask.
No, that's not what she said. She's yelling at me in the back saying,
right.
You shut up right now.
The funny thing is that my mom called me during the show. You know that? I think it was, I can call it the pre-show because I'm not going to show that, but it was, that's what it was. Anyway.
Okay, well, before you go, my wife just passed me a note here.
Okay.
She said,
Am I supposed to cut this so that we don't show it on the show, on the live show? Is this okay? Rock and roll.
No, it says Hillary supporters have said that Trump doesn't have political background.
Right.
None of our founding fathers were politicians.
Right.
He has a team of people to support him.
That's right.
Very valid point. Very valid.
Very valid point. Very valid point. That is a very valid point. And I actually have thought about that before. I say, well, what does he require to be a president? I think you need to have knowledge, of a little bit of knowledge, and then you need to have a good team. I mean, because at the end of the day, your cabinet helps you make decisions. Right?
You know how many votes George Washington got?
No.
Percentage-wise? 100. He did not have anybody run against him.
Right.
That's a true story, man.
Oh, yeah.
You can Google that.
Yeah, and I think, and actually, I think John Adams had more foreign affairs experience than George Washington. And yet, George Washington got the presidency first. And I think that's one of the things that we're criticizing about Barack Obama, that he did not have the experience.
Well, he had Chicago. That's enough overseas, everywhere else.
What are you talking about? You're talking about overseas?
Barack Obama, no, overseas. Barack Obama was in charge of political affairs or whatever it was in Chicago.
Right. Yes.
They have all walks of life in Chicago, just like New York,
yes,
California.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, that was the argument against his campaign. I think he's becoming president and all that. I say, well, he doesn't have the experience. I remember that. I remember,
Yeah.
you know, the candidates that they criticized him for that. Said, "No, you don't have enough experience." He was a young senator and all that. You know, didn't have enough years and didn't vote and stuff like that. So anyway,
We all know the only reason he got voted in, and I'm not even going to bring it up because we all already know.
Uh-oh. What's that?
Oh, really? You don't know?
No.
Because he's black.
Oh.
That's the only damn reason.
Wait a minute. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I think it
you
offered.
know that's true.
No, but I think for a lot of people it offered. I suppose it offered the opportunity to show the rest of the world that America had moved on, and maybe they voted like that. You know, they're like, "Oh, black president, this is our chance to show."
Okay.
You know what? We
and
don't
then
care.
they thought we moved on, and then he brought racism back.
He's bringing sexy back.
Oh, come on, man. That's not what I said.
Racism back.
Yes.
I don't know. Did he?
Well, yeah, the Black Lives Matter. He brought all those guys to the White House,
Yeah.
and they're killing cops.
Yeah,
Come on.
I don't like move. You know, I'm not too crazy about ethnic groups forming. I probably get shot for this, but I don't like. I'm gonna speak about my ethnic background. I don't like it when I think I talked to you about some group that exists around where I live here, but I don't like it when they bring groups like that because you're right about that. I think it just divides, and
That's right.
because I think this is already 21st century. I mean, we're not in the colonies anymore. This is not the 60s. This is not Civil War times. I can really say that a lot of folks in America have truly moved on, and they don't care about all this. Oh, you racist! Hey, they truly moved on, and I think these people, these groups that keep on calling themselves a certain ethnic group and then separating and dividing, that's exactly what's causing all these problems, because I can relate to that. I think I can see a white man kind of feeling funny about looking at all this smaller ethnic group going, "Oh, you know, I'm pro this Latino thing with carrying the Mexican flag and all that." And I think it's probably offensive to another white person. And sometimes out of respect, they don't say anything, but I think it's disrespectful. I think it is. I think it is disrespectful that a small group call themselves representative of some race, and then they talk bad about other people, and it doesn't unite us at all. And that's a problem. That's why I'm not too crazy. But I remember Morgan Freeman on CNN. Man, he was amazing. And I remember Morgan Freeman in a conversation with Wallace, also the old guy Wallace. And they say, you know, you don't celebrate that Black History Month? And he said, wait a minute, what? Black History Month?
Oh yeah,
you remember that?
I don't want a month.
Right. He said,
right?
I don't want a month.
That one.
And then he turned it around. He said, well, I mean, do you have a month? He said, are you white? Do you have a month? And he said, well, I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
Well, do you have a Jewish month? He goes, no. I said, well, I don't want a month either. And he also appeared on CNN with what's his name? Don Lemon. Lemon, is that his last name? And
yeah, Lemon.
And he said, you know, you think race has something to do with success or something along the lines of, you know, you think you have a problem because you're a black actor or whatever. And he said, I don't think so. No. And he turned it around. He said, do you? I mean, look at you. You're sitting there. You're an
Don
anchor.
Lemon right next to, what's that? Reverend Al Sharpton. Those two, they're the most racist people on the planet.
And I think what they do is I think they get support from these minorities. And you know, it's probably monetary, financial stuff, and it's like, why would they do something like that? It's just a disservice to their own community, and it's a disservice to their own group, you know, and it's not what I would do. Anyway, I think we've done enough of that one. It's probably going to require another show, but it's very interesting topic. Very interesting topic.
My wife just told me it's fine to be proud of your ethnic background, but if you came here to be an American, be proud to be an American. And you know what? She makes once again a valid point. African American when you've never been to Africa?
Yeah.
How does that work?
I think the way it's just funny the way you post the questions. You know? How does that work? I don't know. But I tell you, how does that? Wait a minute. Hello.
Well, hold on now. You know, full well. My 3 daughters.
Yeah.
Or their mother is Mexican.
Wait a minute. How does that work?
But my daughters.
Right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yes. My daughters don't consider themselves Mexican American.
Oh, I know.
They're Americans.
Yes, that is exactly right. However, on that valid point, I like to say something though that that I think that feeling proud of the race sometimes can backfire, and I don't say I feel proud of. Well, it's kind of like saying, "Well, I'm proud that my hair is black." Well, I have nothing to do with it. You know, I was born like this, and
oh, hold on now. I know where you're going, but you're wrong. Where you're headed, yes. You were
headed with my hair, black hair. Yes.
Yeah, but you really are a Mexican American.
Okay.
You were first born in Mexico,
right?
And then you came to the United States, right?
That's like a halfway deal.
Yeah, that makes you Mexican American. How is it that the blacks here?
Yes.
How can they be African American when they've never been outside the United States? It makes no sense whatsoever.
They're like
none.
They're like 15th generation or something. And actually, a lot of Hispanics are already there, like your children, where really they feel no connection to any other country but to America. And that happens to Hispanics on their 3rd generation or 2nd generation, because I know it happened to me. I have kids and they have no connection to Mexico at all, especially my oldest son. It doesn't matter. He's an American. And
right
over time,
that's how it ought to be.
Over time, you spend time here, and then your 2nd generation kids, that's it, or 2nd generation, and then that's it. But I don't like this. I don't like this deal of these people waving both flags sometimes, or waving one of them and then the other one. And there is a way that they're doing these things that is sort of disrespectful. And
or the stomping and burning the American flag.
Right. And I understand they have beef with the government. You know, they're like, oh, I don't agree with this thing. But one thing that I tell them when I talk to them is like, you have to remember something. The American flag, just like a flag in another country, represents a group of people that we all agree, like a contract, to be here in this nation and to rule ourselves through democracy together. And it represents a set of values that belongs to us only. And when you do that, it's offensive to all of us, to every other person in America. They're all more than 300 million Americans. It's offensive because I know the flag may represent something to you, to a friend, to my family members, but overall it represents the values and the systems, like a big club, right? We belong to this nation, and it's offensive to whoever lives here, I think. And that's what they don't get. They think it's a protest deal, but it's like, why don't you burn something else? Why don't you burn like the face of some politician that you don't agree with, but not the flag? Because that represents all of us together, whether you want it or not. Anyway, wow, we've gone full circle here. It's like we always go on for a long time.
I know, man. All right. Well, Well, let's we gotta cut this short, man. I gotta get up early in the morning, and I certainly appreciate you having me on again.
Thank you for being a guest again. You know, it's always wonderful. It's been wonderful to have you already twice. I'm so lucky.
Yeah, you're lucky. Yeah, your ratings are dropping by the second.
Actually, I think after I'm getting some likes and some replies on some of the videos that I posted, because I do short clips on important items, and I try to post things that are important during the day. And yeah, people have sent me some emails, some contacted me and say, hey, can you post this one? Can you cut that one in half? Can you? I'm like, sure, I'll do that. I'll do that. Now,
all right.
These ones that I'm doing here with you and stuff, I mean, this interview, they have not asked me anything on these, so we'll see what happens.
Of course they won't.
Well, don't forget to share these with your friends as soon as it's encoded and uploaded.
Yeah, this one I'm a little more comfortable with from the first one.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, it must have been the coffee. Too much caffeine.
That's what it was. Yep.
Yes. All right. Well, have fun. Enjoy. Thank you for joining me tonight. And
all right, man.
Let me know what you want to talk about next time. You want to give anybody out there a preview, or whoever's going to watch this, of what's going to happen next time? Do you want to come back Tuesday, Wednesday, or after the election?
Well, if you'll have me tomorrow, I'd like to talk about the elections.
We can have you tomorrow. It might be late because, you know, after your candidate is elected, I'm not sure which one's going to be, but after he's elected, then we can probably do a little quick chat and tell the people, hey, beware, you got a new president.
All right, man. I'll tell you what. After I get off work tomorrow, I'll give you a text. How about that?
Yeah, that's fine. As soon as this, yeah, we'll wrap it up, and then we'll do that. Rock and roll, then. We'll talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to go vote.
That's right. That's the second time you say it. Yeah, it's very important. It's very important for you people to go vote. And you say that message, and I would like to say something else. People, don't forget to be united. This is our nation. It's a nation of many ethnic groups. People from all over the world like to come over here into the arms of America. Let's be together, because it's, you know, I don't know if you heard this, divide and conquer. That's what other people want to do to us, and it's not going to happen. We have to stay together, stay focused, and we have to rock and roll. And also, I'd like to tell you that you have to subscribe to our channel, because you're going to get warnings on next time that we have the shows or we have a live thing. And you can always come back and do our chatting with us. We'll have myself, Alonso, Fonzie, as my friend calls me, and we'll have Adam, Mr. Politically Brutally Right. Not very correct. But
brutally honest.
Brutally honest Adam. That's right. That's worldwide web known. All right. Well, thank you very much, Adam. Thank you. Good night. See you guys next time.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Adam. And thank your wife for the comments too. The great input. Good night.
Take care.